So I wanted to do a quick demo of using rebase rather than merge for resolving merge conflicts. This might specifically help us now that we're doing release flow. When we're cherry picking our changes up into the release branch, we've had lots of issues where sometimes changes that we didn't intend to cherry pick make it into the release branch. So I've got a little demo scenario set up here in our Git training repo. I've got my feature branch called dog obedient, and I'm going to merge via a pull request into master. I've just got one commit here, and this commit is changing the implementation of a travel method to be ask owner to politely go out the back door. Right here we're working with an obedient dog implementation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a pull request for this branch. And I'm going from dog obedient into master. And then I'm going to hit create. And so this is what commonly we're seeing now as we're doing this release flow stuff, is that when we get a merge conflict, we go and discover that Colin's identical twin with the same name just merged in another pull request where they were thinking that the dog was supposed to be sneaky, right? So they put sneak out the back gate as their travel implementation, and then they also updated the eye color to brown by default. Typically, we probably wouldn't want to have this change in the same pull request. We want to keep our pull requests very discrete. If you're changing for one reason to update the travel implementation, it may not make sense to also update the eye color. So this might be a bad example there, but it's done. This pull request already went into master. So now what do I do with this new pull request that I'm trying to get in over here? I've got this merge conflict. So what we've been often doing is, if you're on your local box, I'm in my dog obedient branch. What many people have been doing is they'll do git merge origin master to pull the latest from our shared origin master into their local feature branch. And we're going to have conflicts, right? We're seeing the same conflicts that we're seeing in ADO in the web. So to resolve those conflicts, we have to do that manually. So let me go over to my IDE. We see our git conflicts going on here. Let's use Visual Studio's merge editor to say, I know that somebody went in there and made a sneaky implementation, but I've talked to that developer and we know that we actually want the polite implementation. So I'm going to select my new change and I'm going to accept that merge. Cool, so let's go ahead and continue our merge. And then we'll push. All right. So what we've done is we've grabbed the latest changes from origin master. We've created a merge commit in our new feature branch, dog obedient. And so now our pull requests that we've got open here will say new changes were pushed. And if we go and look at commits, we've got this new commit, right? That's a merge commit. And that's fine. That's a safe, kind of clean way of doing it, right? We create a commit, we pull the latest changes from master into our feature branch. So we're working with the latest. We've resolved any conflicts there. And that's all done in one nice little commit there. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that commit looks like. So did I not do that right? Okay, so so we're changing the sneak to the ask owner to polite, right? We're changing sneaky to polite. But so here, if you just look at the pull request diff now, it looks like that's all we're changing, which it is, right? That's all we're changing from origin master. But don't forget, we've got that merge commit where we've actually pulled in that other change to eye color into this feature branch. Which doesn't matter here because we're merging into master. So let's go ahead and complete this. And so we're going to complete the obedient merge into master. So that's completed. Now with release flow, what we're often trying to do then is saying, okay, this was fixing a high or critical defect, so we want to go ahead and cherry pick this into our release branch. So if I click on the cherry pick button here in Azure DevOps, and I want to cherry pick it into the release branch, sprint 27, and go ahead and cherry pick. Cool, it goes ahead and creates us a pull request. Let's see what we're changing. Oh, we're not just getting our polite, we're also getting that change in eye color. Maybe that eye color change hasn't been tested. That's for some other, that was from the sneaky pull request, right? And all I want to cherry pick to release right now is the polite pull request. So here we've captured something that we didn't mean to capture. So we don't actually want to complete this pull request into release branch because all we wanted to capture was this, but since we did a merge commit, it's not quite so simple to just use the cherry pick button in ADO because we're also capturing anything else that had been committed to master prior to our feature branch's pull request into master. So let's go ahead and abandon this. Now a cleaner way that we can use, I'm not saying this is always the correct solution because there are trade-offs, but this is the way that I've been preferring to do it, is using rebase. So over here I've got one other branch created where we've got dog spunky, right? We're going to create this branch into master. This is very similar to dog obedient, just different text. So I'm pulling up that commit. We're just changing it to a dog that jumps up and down, sprints side to side, and tugs on the owner's shoelaces. Cool, so that's our spunky dog. So here, just like we did with the obedient, we're going to go ahead and try to create a pull request into master. And we're grabbing spunky and going into master. We have that same merge conflict, right? Because we created this branch at the same time as dog obedient. So we're dealing with that same merge conflict. But this time, to resolve the merge conflict, instead of creating a merge commit, we're going to use rebase. So locally, let me switch over to my spunky branch. So before we did a git merge, right, to git merge origin master. This time we're going to do rebase. So we can do a git pull rebase origin master. So we're still going to have to resolve the conflicts, right, because the conflict can't be magically resolved. But rebase is going to not create that merge commit like we had before. So let's go back over into Visual Studio here. We're going to have to resolve this merge commit in the same way we did before. We're going to take the polite implementation rather than the excuse me. So remember, if you're not familiar with rebase, basically rebase, instead of pulling the latest from master into our feature branch, we're taking any commits from our feature branch and rewriting them as if they were committed to the latest of master, right? So I created this commit with the spunky implementation here at a time when the implementation of travel just said add text here. However, now our origin branch, since I already merged polite into master, polite is what is on our origin master branch. So when we're rebracing, it's going to look a little different, but we want to go ahead and accept our new spunky, because spunky is what we've determined is the correct implementation. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that merge. Let's go over to our CLI, check the status. So So we successfully rebased, we successfully resolved the manual merge conflicts. And so you can just continue the rebase. And then since rebase actually rewrites history, you often have to force push, right? Because you're basically rewriting the commit that commits that you've made to be as if they were on the latest tip of origin master. So I'll talk about that in just a second. But let's go ahead and force push that and see what we got. So new changes were pushed. But if we look at our commits, I just refreshed and it's being slow. So this time we still only see our one commit. Remember when we did this for obedient, was that the right one? No, that was our pull request into the release branch. I'm looking for obedient into master, polite into master, this one. Right, so this was before we had this merge commit. With rebase, you don't have that, right? It basically takes our new commit and resolves that on the tip of master. So now our only change going into master is going to be that single rebase commit. And so let's go ahead and complete that. So now we are completing our feature branch merged into master. So now, let's say we're still resolving a higher or critical, so we want to go ahead and cherry pick this into the release branch. So if we use ADO's cherry pick, and we're going to cherry pick it into sprint 27. Why is there a conflict? So I guess this is a good example. Sometimes we're going to have the cherry pick button may sometimes work, but sometimes there's going to be conflicts, and you'll just have to resolve it locally. So let me show how to do that. So like everything, there's always many different ways of doing that, but the way I like to do it is checking out a new branch, and I'm going to go ahead and use the name that ADO provides here, just so I don't have to think of a name. So I'm going to check out a new branch with this name, but the key is this branch needs to be off of release. So I'm going to check it off of origin release sprint 27. So I'm creating a new branch locally that'll start off at the tip of our release branch. Right? So then I'm going to go ahead and do my cherry pick into this branch. Get cherry pick, and then so the commit that I added here for Spunky, I'm just going to cherry pick that one commit. You can just grab this hash here. I'm copying the short form of the hash. I'm going to cherry pick that. Conflicts. Why would I be getting conflicts? Let's find out. I don't know why. Okay, so this must be why we were seeing conflicts in ADO. You may not see this in the real world. This may just because I was creating so many pull requests to play around with it. But obviously we want to take our Spunky implementation because that's what we're trying to cherry pick. I don't know why it showed that as a conflict, because this was written over top of the original add text here. But regardless, we'll go ahead and do that manual merge. Check the status, we're good there, so we'll go ahead and continue. and then we'll push this new branch. So now we should be all set to go ahead and create a new pull request, and we're going to use this new branch we just pushed, but we're going to take it into our release branch. So we're taking our new branch with that single cherry picked commit, and we're cherry picking it into the release branch. And we'll go ahead and create it, and if we go and look at the commits, we should just have that one single commit, and here we're just changing the implementation to the Spunky implementation, which is what we want. Where originally when we had tried this with the polite implementation that we had abandoned, when we had tried to cherry pick before, we had that merge commit in there, which was pulling in the eye color brown that we didn't want. So we should be good to go ahead and merge this into the release branch. And we'll complete. I don't know if this video is helpful at all. A lot of this is just going to be learning for each individual developer and leveling up Git skills, because I mean, this is just hard stuff, right? We're dealing with multiple branches, figuring out how to grab only the changes we need into the release branch. It's just going to require being careful and and leveling up our Git skills. So I'm happy to help. I don't know if this video is helpful at all, but maybe it is.